Brothers, welcome to another meeting of the Christmas Adventurers Club. I am Chapter President Simian Jimmy, joined as always by the Secretary of Seaman Demons, Erich McCoy.
That's right, I oversee all the fluid druids, I oversee all of the, what the fuck else are they called? Whatever. When that guy said Seaman Demon, I fucking lost it.
And a man who's been fighting one battle after another on Twitter. It's Lowres Wonderbread.
This is the earliest show I've done in a long time, so my hair, I got a little bit of bedhead. I wish I brought my comb with me so I could suck on it like Sean Penn does in that elevator before doing that. That might be my favorite moment of the whole movie. They've been relentless. They have been nonstop calling for my death, calling for my execution because I did not like this.
That's really, not why. Disingenuous bullshit again from Lowres Wonderbread.
Hold on. I think it plays a part, absolutely, because they saw my review linked underneath, and they are having a problem with that, too.
Bullshit! I've seen tweets with 20,000 likes reposting you, like talking shit to you. It's never about your opinion on the movie.
No, it's about my opinion on Alana Haim's face. I think it's a really ugly face, frankly. I don't think she should be in movies. And I voiced as much, and boy, it blew up. I did not expect this to be the thing that they get me on, but...
Erich, is that why you don't have your camera on today? You didn't want to be seen with a canceled man like Lowres Wonderbread. He's the villain of film Twitter today, they say.
I'm so up in arms, but out of the three reasonings for why I should hate Lowres Wonderbread, it's because he pulled out a phone in a theater. A sin punishable by execution.
Well, yeah, I was telling Hans about this yesterday. He also hated the show, the movie, one battle after another. So this will be like a very distinct sequel program. I'm not really in debate mode about it. And frankly, he probably succinctly explained what's wrong with the movie better than I will. But I'm very curious to hear what you two think of the... I know you both liked it, but why you liked it. And as far as that goes, yeah, that was the second complaint that a lot of people had on X, which is, oh, you have your phone out in the theater, which is
why didn't you say you stole somebody else's screen grab of the, why take credit for that?
Because I do that. The truth is, no, I do that every single movie. I take a picture of the opening title, and then I have a nice collection at the end of the year.
But sometimes you have to wait 20 minutes for that title, like in this one. So you're sitting there with your phone like this for 20 fuccking minutes? There's no way to watch a film.
And everything. My battery was draining by the second. I was just like,
God damn it.
Waiting.
There are movies where the title treatment does not come up until near the end of the movie. So I can just imagine you holding your phone up while...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, was Tar like that? Did Tar play the credits at the beginning and then the title at the end?
Which movie?
Tar.
Tar? I didn't see Tar in the theater, though, so I didn't run into that problem.
Erich is the Tar expert, but he's suddenly quiet.
Yeah, I'm a Tar head.
Go ahead, Lowres. I cut you off, as I frequently do, evidently.
No, I think it was just the one time when you're feeling very impassioned about, the Star people, the blue country.
Yeah, I'm glad this film acknowledged there's a secret cabal of Christians ruining everything. That's right. We all know that.
Of course. This takes a much safer approach, I think, in tackling those topics than some other movies that have come out recently. I thought Eddington did a much better job of explaining the trickle-down effect of how a lot of the conspiracy stuff works.
Now, I do agree with that. I think Eddington is far and away the better movie about these kinds of subjects and about the now of what you would show in a movie about modern day America more than this does.
Are they not good sibling films? If somebody asked you to define the early 2020s or the first half of this decade, aren't these the two movies you'd want them to watch to get really a fuller picture of multiple perspectives on it?
Yeah, I would say if you want to watch one good movie and one bad movie, I would say these would be the examples.
I guess I should bring up, right as we started recording, I got a YouTube notification, thumbnail from Lowres Wonderbread saying this is the worst film of 2025.
Well,
that's unfair.
Clickbaity. That's clickbait. I actually don't think that, but I need people to go watch the video at the Lowres Wonderbread YouTube channel. If I had to really think about it, though, for a big budget blockbuster movie, is this stupider than Sinners? No, it's not stupider. But Sinners, I felt like was a little more electric than this film. For a mainstream movie, I had more of a problem with Superman. I would actually probably say that's more likely to be the worst of 2025 for major budget studio pictures. But you know, seeing what everybody has been saying about this movie, calling it a masterpiece, saying it's the best movie of the decade, not just the year, the decade.
Best movie that Paul Thomas Anderson has ever made.
That's
just
insane.
disagree with that
They
completely.
went far in a few places.
Yeah, I don't see it. I don't understand it. So I would love to hear one of you two guys explain this phenomenon to me and why.
So I got
I'm not
this for you.
connecting with it.
I agree with you. It's overhyped completely. I saw people saying it's the best movie in 15 years. I mean, it's not even the best movie this year. I agree. Eddington it's up there. It's in my top 2, if not top 3. Mass State Lottery might have, bumped things down by being number 1. It is what it is. But you hate this woman. What's her name? Elena Haim. What's her name?
I don't even hate her. I love her.
You hate her
She's in
face.
it for
See the picture of us
You
together?
don't
We're a
want to see her
beautiful couple.
face on an 80-foot screen. Is that fair to say?
Beautiful
It was
Jewish
just-
queen.
I like to be prepared. I watched Licorice Pizza, and I actually kind of enjoyed that movie. But seeing her, her schnoz and the teeth and the rat face just come up out of the blue, it was shocking.
Well, here's my point. It's a disgusting face. I agree. Cancel me as well. But you both gave Licorice Pizza a higher score than this movie. And I just want to point out, in this film, that ugly woman gets shot in the head, point blank dead. Did that not give you joy?
Well, I was grateful that it was a brief appearance.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So how do you give Licorice Pizza a higher score? And both of you, I'm damning for this. I need to hear essays from both of you, because that's disgusting to say.
Well, Licorice Pizza, I thought, was a funnier movie. I thought the cast of Licorice Pizza also did it for me a little bit better. Having one of the highlights of this movie, which I was kind of surprised to see that you were negative on, was Sean Penn. Cartoonish villain, yes. But I really liked him in Licorice Pizza. I really like him here. He had some very funny moments. I mean, my problem with the movie is the stuff that I felt like would take me out that didn't gel with the rest of the film, which is all like the Christmas Adventurers stuff. That felt very two-dimensional compared to the plot that we're following with DiCaprio as Bob and his, I refrain from calling her significant other, and daughter. Those moments are funny. I like those moments, but they don't mesh with the rest of the film, and I actually don't care much about the rest of the film. So I'm running into this issue here with the movie.
I kind of agree with you about the Christmas Adventure stuff. It feels to me like it's a C grade Pynchon ripoff style thing, and the rest of the movie is very, I don't know. For me, the rest of the movie is way more just a regular chase movie, just done to such an extent of real focus on how the camera moves, real focus on living in real environments, moving people through those environments, and just PTA's just incredible attention to detail with that stuff. All of the Christmas Adventure stuff just feels like it does not exist in the more real world that the rest of it. But but I also feel like Sean Penn is giving a Dr. Strangelove-esque, just so over the top, just so really just going balls to the wall and fucking erection to the wall in the beginning of the fucking movie. And that somewhat does not mesh with the rest of the movie, but I don't mind that nearly as much as I mind the Christmas Adventure.
Is the problem that these directors are too scared to make an intelligent racist character? Because you think of Tarantino, Django Unchained, that famous scene at the KKK. The joke is, oh, they're racist. That means they're literally mentally retarded. And that's the joke of the scene. You have Hans Lambda, what's his name in Inglourious Bastards?
Lambda, yeah.
Hans Barboza, would you say? I'm all tongue twisted today. But even that guy, he's the scariest, greatest villain ever because he's this brilliant racist Nazi. But the twist is at the end he says, I'm not a Nazi. I was pretending to be Nazi. And they say, well, we're going to carve a swastika into your face anyway just because you joined them. So Tarantino and now this, it's like, they're racist. They can't be a smart, scary villain. They have to be literally retarded. And all the racist characters in this movie are just retards.
I think one of the best Tarantino villains is, I think Steven is his name from Django Unchained, the Samuel Jackson character, who's arguably worse than fucking Leo DiCaprio.
Being a self-hating racist is the only thing worse than being a white racist.
Right. The only time I can think of that had an intellectual racist character is probably American History X. If you watch American History X, it comes across unintentionally very based now, with a lot of the character reciting why he is a skinhead, why he is part of this Aryan gang. And I feel like maybe there's a conscious choice there with somebody like Tarantino. I doubt it with Tarantino. I don't know what angle he's tackling that from personally, but maybe PTA, there could be the responsibility of, I don't want to make it too persuasive. I don't want this to be used and flipped around. Because you do see that too. You will see that on X, you'll see that on 4chan, that people will clip a segment of a movie or something and then use it in a way that's not intended by the creator, of course.
Oh yeah, you see the clip of Cartman singing about there's too many minorities at the water park, and like, oh, you're supposed to be laughing at Cartman here. Okay, sure. I mean, sometimes the racist guy makes a few funny points, but doesn't it weaken your movie, PTA? If even Erich is saying these racist characters are two-dimensional clown cartoons that make it so I can't give it a 10 out of 10 on Letterboxd, it's only a 9 out of 10. Like, why can't we have brilliant, racist, scary villains in the movie that Leo, who's high as fuck and way past his prime, has to somehow deal with?
Well, I do think to some extent they're giving Leo a adversary that he could actually go up against and beat. If Sean Penn was actually a genius, he would just have no problem getting rid of Bob in this movie.
Does it not reflect reality, though? Because in real life, the racist people are winning, right? Don't they constantly win generation over generation? That's why we need these revolutionaries to fight back with their bombs and violence. Like, the racist people are the ones who are running everything and in control. Am I to believe that they're just brain dead stupid? Do they actually think Donald Trump is dumber than them?
I mean, I think they have all the built-up power, and they have all of the, just the entire system behind them. So I really like when he's talking to the woman in the bathroom and he's like, yeah, just do whatever. I mean, we're just gonna knock you right back down anyway. Like, you can do anything to us, but the machine will just keep going. Like, it doesn't matter.
It makes it kind of difficult to see what the perspective of this movie is, and maybe that's a Thomas Pynchon thing, because this film has a lot of the same problems that I thought Inherent Vice had. Have you guys watched that PTA movie?
Yeah. I love that movie, and I actually read the book that it's based on earlier this year.
Okay, are you familiar with Pynchon's writing in general?
Yeah, I mean, so I've read V, I've read Vineland, I've read Inherent Vice, and The Crying of Lot 49, so about half.
How much of this movie is taken from his text?
Not much. It's really just a vague plot structure that kind of girds the Vineland book, but there's so much just going off in one direction and following a character that does not appear in this movie whatsoever, and most of the book is that, and this movie is not at all. It's like you just took the basic plot of that book and then just made a chase movie out of that. So
okay, so the plot problems that I'm seeing here, because I felt like this was kind of messy. It's not as messy as Inherent Vice, but Inherent Vice requires itself to be messy since you're following.
No, yeah, it's definitely doing that on purpose.
That you would say then that's more of a PTA thing than a Thomas Pynchon.
For sure. And in Inherent Vice, that is pretty much as close to just doing the book as I've seen in a lot of things. There's some stuff that gets taken out because he's having fucking crazy visions of Lemuria and stuff of crazy shit, but otherwise it's pretty much just the book. So very different approaches for these two movies.
Lowres,
Gotcha.
I listened to your podcast last night when it came out with you and Hans, and there's a question of when this movie's supposed to take place because it's modern technology. And that scene when they're invading the ICE facility at the beginning, that's before the time skip. And as you may recall, Obama was locking these kids in cages. So I think this very well took place in the Obama era at the beginning.
You're right. That moment lapsed, that there was a 16-year jump that we do wind up doing. So I guess it would be Obama to current era, right? And the book, Erich, takes place during Reagan, right?
Yeah, it's the 80s Reaganite era, and the characters are from the 60s. Their original they're like doing filmmaking and they're doing revolutionary action while doing filmmaking in the 60s, and then it's them living in the 80s.
Was it violent revolution stuff in the book?
Not nearly as much. Like it was kind of more on the filmmaking side, and then you definitely got the sense that there was revolutionary stuff, but this really goes deep into the revolutionary side of things.
I think I would have been more interested in that. The movie that I referenced was Patty Hearst, which kind of delves into similar subject matters. And the late 20th century has so many revolutionary groups that were doing these little domestic terror attacks, like the Weather Underground. I think that could have been interesting to delve into that. But I don't know. I feel like all these auteurs now are really sinking their teeth into current day after ignoring it for the last decade.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was doing period pieces, and now people are finally coming around to actually the time we're living in right now is pretty interesting. It's full of character. Why not? Why not? Why be averse to that?
And that's probably my biggest problem with this movie, is that the specificity and the incredible detail that Pynchon was able to put into Vineland, and like having lived through the 60s, having lived through the revolutionary action, and then kind of having to live within that 80s culture where Reagan was like just ascendant, like everyone was voting for Reagan. Like that is such a specific time period. And to me, this movie kind of fails on giving specifics about how people live today, about how culture has been informed by the last 20 years, and it really just feels just, I don't know, surface level. And I expected more from Paul Thomas Anderson. That's probably my favorite thing about him as a director, is just zeroing in on an era and having those characters interact within that era and being defined by that era. And this, to me, does not live up to that.
It's no Eddington. It doesn't have literal social media.
Not. Nobody's on a phone in this. Like they, Leo is just trying to use his shitty old phone the entire time, which makes for a lot of good comedy. But yeah, it's not talking about this era in a way that I would have liked to see it.
No, I think it's all very passive, if anything. It's always just in the background, something that's happening. And you know, I said this before, but my primary problem with the movie is just how flimsy all these characters are. I felt like they were the thinnest characters that I've probably seen in a PTA movie. But Mumkey, you said the only character that you had a problem with was Sean Penn, so please counter me on this.
I thought the writing for Sean Penn's character was just absurd when he's I'm sorry, my cat is distracting me. Shoji has been screaming at the door the whole time. He won't shut the fuck up, but it is what it is. I'm sorry, Shoj. He's freaking out in this final climactic scene where she's suggesting that he might be gay. I'm not a homosexual! Like just going off the deep end about shit that is so stupid. And I feel like it's the author, which I guess is PTA here, having total contempt for this character and what he represents, that he is not going to give him any depth or logic or reasoning. He's just going to be a freak who responds like you would expect Facebook comments if they were a real person to respond to things. And he's so stupid that after this group betrays him and shoots him in the face with a shotgun, as Hans is saying, he still goes back to them. He's like, oh no, it's all good. The semen demon tricked me. Please don't put me in Lydia's corner office from Better Call Saul where I can get killed by gas like fucking Jews.
I love that about the character, is that he's so like up his own ass, and he's so like just incredibly worried about his own shit, that like he loves black women, but he has to deny that about himself because of the Christmas what is the fucking group called?
Christmas Adventurers.
Yeah, they need purity. You can't have any black children, you can't have any black like relationships, you need to be pure as driven snow. So like this movie is about a character who has to deny a basic part of himself, and that leads him to do insane things. And he's just a mess.
But that still seems like the point of view of somebody who has contempt for this character writing a racist, where the complexity is, well, obviously he's attracted to black women. We all know that's the hottest type of person. Even the most racist guy on the planet still wants to fuck black women. So like that's his complexity, is I want to be a white supremacist, but I also want to fuck black women. It's not that deep or complex. It's embarrassing.
I mean, Thomas Jefferson loved Sally Hemings that much that he had several children by her and like just kept them around.
Well,
That was, but
PTA's
did he
wife.
join a Christmas adventurers group that said white supremacy is king?
Arguably. the
PTA's wife
Masonic
is
Lodge.
Maya Rudolph, after all. So I think that's the authorial, touch being added there. But I mean, okay, so Sean Penn is one thing, but DiCaprio is also totally one note. I mean, where do you see that their characters are written superior to Sean Penn? I'll agree, Sean Penn is absolutely the most cartoonish character and absurd.
So I loved the entire premise of Leo's character. He was like a revolutionary hero back in the day, but then his wife, who he's in love with, has terrible postpartum depression, doesn't want anything to do with their baby, and then runs off and it gets in a fucking bank robbery heist gone wrong. Like, of all the revolutionary things, this is the least agreeable. You're gonna shoot a security guard, an innocent man doing his job at a bank? That's not justifiable, bitch. You've lost your fucking mind. And I think this woman was insane to begin with. She's constantly trying to fuck while they're exploding things. Like, she gets horny for revolutionary violent justice. And she then betrays the entire group of the French 75.
She's a rat.
Which, I didn't know that's a famous cocktail, French 75, so I thought they were saying Fringe 75 the whole time. And I was very confused when I found out, but it is the French 75. So imagine being him. You go from this revolutionary kingpin in love to the absolute bottom barrels of depression. He gives up on that completely and just focuses on raising this daughter. Fries his brain for 16 years on weed. I mean, I love that idea of this guy hitting complete rock bottom, forgetting important codes and anything really relevant to revolutionary stuff, and then he's thrown back into it in a horrible way. His past comes back to haunt him. The true father of his child is really the villain. I mean, spoilers for One Piece, but I think PTA ripped off Akuma in the Egghead arc. Again, this is word for word revolutionary, has his wife stolen by the leader of the opposition, and then Izukaku raises the kid anyway as his own. I mean, it's word for word the same. It's beautiful stuff. and this being a comedy of errors where Leo is such a drunk, high idiot trying to get back into this world that all of his former allies have to sacrifice themselves because of his stupid mistakes just to save this one girl who is the key. I think that might be one of the messages, is the old guard needs to maybe lay on their swords so that the new generation can come up and take care of business. Ruth Bader Ginsburg fucked over the entire country because she refused to retire at the age of 95.
After getting cancer and after,
So, Kung Fu guy... because Leo can't resist drinking a beer while a cop's driving by in the car, he has to sacrifice himself so that Leo can go on, and it's all to save the future of the revolution, which the daughter, despite being, learning the truth and having her whole arc of, oh, my father's been lying to me this whole time, my mom's a horrible rat who betrayed everything, she's not a hero, my true father is like this white supremacist dickhead, but she still chooses after all that to, go fight the good fight. So I like all these other characters quite a bit.
Yeah, I like the version you just explained there.
That's the movie.
What I watched.
That's the movie
I watched. I don't know.
Erich, is that the movie?
That sounds like the movie to me.
Well, you guys both like the movie, so that's the movie you saw. That's not the movie I saw. The movie I saw was just meandering. It was very long. Okay, we're going through the motions. We're just going through a map, basically, of, hey, we got to go here to here. And the characters didn't really show as much depth or like a root cause. They just kind of told us the cause. It was just, well, this is all matter of fact, on its face. You have to accept it. And if you don't, the movie doesn't make sense. But at no point do you really feel like there is a deeper vested interest in whatever the ideal goal here is going to be. It's just we're part of the revolution. We have to continue being part of the revolution. Well, why? And why? And what is it all for in the end?
Well, I think the
really
plot
get
of the
the answer
movie
to
is
that.
just we have to save this girl who means so much to all these people. I mean, she's the star pupil of the kung fu guy. Doesn't even really know the whole revolutionary history behind him and his relation to her. This is like some real anime stuff. A generational story where like the kids, they don't know the old guard. The guy on the phone asking for the password does not recognize the voice of this old revolutionary hero because this is a new guy. And you guys call them LARPers. I think you're right. I think if you're going to be against like the man in this specific violent way, you're going to have to kind of be a mentally ill, weird LARPer person to even get involved.
I think the movie is largely about like you grow up out of like doing all these revolutionary forces and like risking your life on a regular basis. And at this point, Leo is just kind of done with all of it. Like he can't bother with all of the secret passcode shit. All of this stuff is so self-involved and so unserious in a way. Like all he wants to do is save his daughter, and the guy on the other side of the phone is just so
I bet you don't have kids, you motherfucker, you piece of shit. I'm gonna shove my foot up your ass when I find you. I bet you don't have fucking kids, you dumb fuck. God, Leo was so funny in this movie.
Yeah, it's a pretty, like, I think it's in a long line of Leo performances that touch on these kinds of things, but he's good at it. Like, what can I say?
Can I tell a personal story, boys? It was the summer of 2010. I was 15 years old. I didn't know nothing about Leo. I didn't care about no Titanic movie. But then that summer, I go see Shutter Island and Inception.
Wow.
Two of the greatest living filmmakers making Kino mindfuck cinema starring Leo. And I was 15 years old. I mean, it was a life-changing cinematic moment for me. And I decided, Leo, that's my man. That's my favorite actor. And he's never let me down. He's never let me down. Even Don't Look Up sucked. And he was the best part.
I was going to say, you were a huge fan of where he played, what was the head of the FBI?
The Hoover? What's that called?
Movie. Yeah, Hoover.
J. Edgar.
J. Edgar,
J. Edgar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've not seen that one yet, actually. But
They put him in a dress for that movie. I've never watched it.
But is that the next one? Is it Kino Movies collab? Is J. Edgar?
I would be down
I think
with
we
J.
should
Edgar.
put your Leo love to the test. I think there's a couple of movies he's made.
Yeah, there's a couple I haven't seen, but
we're good.
Monkey,
I've seen
have you
probably
ever watched
80%.
Growing Pains?
No.
That's my introduction to Leo. He
He
was
was
on
on that
Growing
show,
Pains when the main star became a Christian and was like, I can't do this sitcom anymore. There's too much partying. There was hardly any partying, but he was like, there's too much partying and hooking up with girls. I'm out. They were like, fuck, we need a cute kid. What are we going to do? Let's get Leonardo DiCaprio as the cousin who's being adopted. Kino.
Is it as good as
Seventh and
Family
final
Ties
season.
with Michael J. Fox?
It is as good as Family Ties. It's literally like the same quality as Family Ties. He was also in, what was the first movie? It was like Goblin 3, Troll 3.
Troll
something
3.
Oh,
like that.
really? Troll 3, yeah.
One of these movies. I think DiCaprio's best performance is Wolf of Wall Street. That movie, that one is almost 3 hours.
Right.
I could watch that 100 times over.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy to me how Martin Scorsese still has it in him to make that movie when he was like fucking 70 something.
Well, they're working together again on whatever the next movie is.
Yeah, it's going to be based on Vertigo in some way.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Did you see that this movie did worse at the box office opening weekend than Killer of the Flower Moon,
No.
which I believe was
really?
a huge bomb?
Well, it was a huge bomb, but I also don't think it was in theaters very long. I think this is going to have a longer
You think
tail.
this will have legs and good word of mouth? With people like Lowres,
Yeah,
I
it
don't
got
know. He's saying
Got an
don't
A
see
cinema
this.
score, so people seem to like it.
So it's kind of a losing battle, no pun intended, for the box office on this movie because it's got an enormous budget, right? It's like $150
Yeah,
million.
$150 million, yeah.
PTA, I mean, it'll probably be like the biggest opening of his career, I would assume. But I can't imagine, Warner Brothers has been very lucky this year where even their dog shit movies have done pretty well.
well, yeah.
Superman's a little, I said this before,
On
but
the
you
edge.
look at that from many different angles, it's either a success or a failure.
Erich is sensitive about that because it lost him $3.
Yeah, because I've yet to send you $3.
Yeah, I never gave you a way to pay me. I just think it's funnier to keep it going.
Like, give me your PayPal or whatever.
Isn't it better if every month I just keep reminding you that I won?
You'll just hold it over me.
Yes. But go ahead,
What was the bet?
If Superman would make 700, yeah.
Oh, it didn't pass that.
No.
It's 614.
It got just above, 600 million.
Yeah, so this movie, I feel like it's destined to not make its money back, so it'll be a failure in that sense, right? But I could imagine a world where they're promoting this for Best Picture and they put it back out in theaters. They do the Morbius thing with it and try and recoup a little bit more.
What do you mean Morbius thing? You think that it's going to be a meme that people like this
Morbius
movie? Yeah, but they released it under false pretenses that people wanted to see it.
Sure. Yeah, I think that there's opportunity here to milk it if it doesn't hit the mark, but I still don't I don't see it happening.
Well, if this movie wins a bunch of awards for Leo or Sean Penn, or if it wins like best picture, that it doesn't really have to do super amazing. It gets them enough prestige, it gets them enough critical winning support that they kind of don't need it to make tons of money.
That's right. Which I think all of my assumption here, knowing the Academy, is that every actress in this movie will be nominated. DiCaprio will probably be nominated.
The
Sean
ugly
Penn,
bitch?
I would be surprised. What's that?
That ugly bitch, Elena Haim, will be nominated?
Oh, yes, of course. Her. Yeah.
Best leading actress, Alana Haim.
Most beautiful face.
One battle after another.
I could see, what's her name? Regina King? I don't know. I'm confused
Regina
with
Hall,
Black woman, I think. I could see her getting a Best Supporting, even though she doesn't do much in the movie. I think this is going to be a big focal piece for Warner Brothers when it comes to award season. I think they got this. They got Sinners, which will probably be Best Picture nominee for their blockbuster mainstream movie pick. I think it's going to do well.
Yeah. Warner Brothers has already cleaned up enough this year that this movie can do pretty much atrociously, and they're all right.
What do we make of the enormous barrage of 5-star reviews of this on Letterboxd? Do we think it's basically just, I agree with the politics of this, so I'm going to more enjoy the movie based on that, Lowres? And is that why maybe the movie I described that me and Erich saw, maybe you didn't see that because you had a dark fog of your political thoughts over the movie?
No, listen, because I can sit down and I can watch any movie that if I'm going in with the assumption that I'm not going to agree with the politics of it, that doesn't really make a difference in my critical opinion, because I can sit down and I can watch any Spike Lee movie. That's irrelevant. When it comes to my opinion on it, I think I had a problem connecting with the characters, and it made it difficult for me to care too much about the plot or the rescue mission there, especially since the daughter feels like a Mary Sue. She kind of feels like Rey from Star Wars in a way, where she's just kind of angsty.
Well, what does she do? We see her training to shoot guns, and then she shoots and kills one guy with a gun. I think that's pretty fair.
But even that is kind of a stretch, because you're pulling out one of the Christmas adventurers, right, who knows what he's doing. He's able to take down Sean Penn like that.
If you're in a car crash, I don't know if you're going to be in the greatest mindset.
He was just in a terrible car accident, and he didn't even die. He survived.
Well, she still outsmarted him with the car crash and then proceeded to try and talk to her for a minute before doing it. It's like, come on.
Isn't that the whole theme of the movie? I've been putting on a platter here for you. Racists are stupid. Of course, the 14-year-old black girl's going to outsmart lay racist leader.
I didn't have that.
It's the point of the film. It really is.
So, in terms of why it's being critically well received, I think that plays a part. I think it's half that, half people want to get behind PTA's new movie. It's an exciting, big auteur film.
Yeah, right? It's him being given the biggest budget he'll probably ever receive in his entire career.
Yeah.
So.
I think Chase Infinity, who played his daughter, is the same age as the women Leo dates. Isn't that crazy? He'd be dating his daughter in this film. She's like 25. She was in that Jake Gyllenhaal TV show, Presumed Innocent, that me and Eggy watched.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
was that
pretty
good?
Show, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Did you ever see the movie Presumed Innocent? I think it was a Harrison Ford
It is.
film.
I'm gonna spring it on Eggy one of these days and see how long it takes to realize it's the same shit we already watched, but movie form.
So I think it's no coincidence that the people who have been violently threatening me all have the Palestinian flag and a letterbox. It's like there's a juxtaposition here of the lefty politics and letterbox user that creates a cocktail of volatility. I think those people love this movie. Clearly they love the movie. They love Alana Haim. They love it all. There's nothing wrong with this film. It's a masterpiece.
And those same people would watch Eddington and probably drop it, a 1.5 star review.
Yeah, no, well, we did see when Eddington came out, right? There was that initial burst of positive reception, and then it got exposed to a little wider of an audience, and then they started going, actually, big yikes, this is not it. And it watered the score down to about a 70%, when it was, before that, almost universally well received. So I think, yeah, the complexity of something like Eddington is doesn't go over well with this crowd.
Mm-hmm. I did not expect to have as many issues with the movie as I did. I still gave it a 4.5, so I really enjoyed it quite a bit. But there's so many, my fucking alarm's going off. There's so many caveats to it. There's so many this is not the style that I like to see PTA in. So when we're doing a lot of chase stuff, and I think the characters are all right. I don't agree with you that they're terrible or something. But it's just not I love the master. The vibe of Philip Seymour Hoffman and Joaquin Phoenix, just for me at the top of their games, just clashing and going off one another. That is what I like to see Paul Thomas Anderson doing, and this did not. This is in the bottom half of my rankings of this movie. So yeah,
I have not seen his big famous movies like Boogie Nights, to be honest. I need to go through his filmography.
Really?
But this was certainly more entertaining than Phantom Thread. I mean, is that fair? It's better than Licorice Pizza, despite what you guys have to say.
I don't know. I really enjoyed the character dynamics in Phantom Thread. In terms of entertainment, more happens in this movie. That's for sure. I like the car chase at the end of it and how that was shot.
Oh man, the fucking top of the hill, and then you see all three cars going down, up, and everything is just so in focus.
It's like tidal waves coming at you in the ocean. It's very cool.
Yeah.
But I think this is actually at the top of my list for PTA movies that I've seen. Inherent Vice is, it's fine. It's more close to this, really, than some of his other movies, just because you're following this stoner who's as confused as maybe the audience is throughout a lot of it. And then what's the other one that I've seen?
Have you seen There Will Be Blood?
No. Maybe we should be doing that one.
There's going to be a new 4K remaster, I think, coming out. That's the one that everybody's like, all right, this is the best one.
This is the top.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that one I think is terrific. I would probably co-sign that that's the best one.
What was the movie we were going to see in Harvard Yard, as the locals might say, but Hans said, no, I don't want to go see a movie, so we just couldn't go see this 4K.
It makes it sound very spoiled child. He didn't want to go see it.
That was literally what happened. He was being a baby.
I wanted to go see it.
Everybody wanted to see it but Hans, so nobody could go. But what was the movie?
Jerry didn't want to see it either.
Which movie was it?
It was Barry Lyndon.
I had a chance to see that in Harvard in 4K for the first time. Never seen it. And Hans said, "No, I just saw weapons. I'm sick of movies."
My favorite fucking Kubrick movie too. Jesus
yeah,
Christ.
Me too. I think that's Kubrick's best. And it would have been at this cool. The Brattle Theater is the historic landmark in Massachusetts. It's a nice older theater. They do local brand soda pop and IPAs and shit like that. It's very nice. It would have been a cool time, but Barry Lyndon is a 3-hour movie.
It's a big ask, and honestly, I would be fine with Hans pissing and shitting and being like, I don't want to do that, just to see him do it.
Well, the flip side of that was we at least got Popeyes thanks to Eggy right afterward. We played pool. It was a fun time.
All right.
Barry Lyndon. Superior choice to the 15 minutes of the Jussie Smollett documentary we wound up watching instead.
Those are pretty on the same level.
I think Hans just didn't want to spend the $10. I'll let Iggy buy us all chicken instead.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Anytime you're making a trip is you got to be, and you really got to plan in advance, money-wise, to be able to have fun, because everybody wants to have fun. Nobody wants to sit around a stinky RV and
We want to sit around a stinky
eat a hot
movie
dog.
theater, goddammit.
Yeah.
It is what it is,
Well,
Hans.
you know, that movie, here's the thing about the movie theater, though. It's not all sunshine and roses. Actually, I've seen maybe like 8 rats in the history of going to that theater crawling up
Damn.
on the stage. So
You saw Tiana Taylor in that theater?
that's right. So, yeah, it would have been a fun time. Maybe in Costa Rica they'll be playing Barry Lyndon whenever we get that off the ground.
Well, now I'm never going to see it just because I hate Hans. I'm going to go to my grave never knowing who Barry Lyndon is or what he has to say.
Wouldn't it make more sense to watch it to spite Hans?
Yeah, you got to prove him wrong. You got to.
Whatever he
You gotta
thinks
go
would
up against him.
be offensive, I'll do the opposite as a reverse psychology to actually hurt him. So ask him his opinion on whether I should or should not watch it.
Well, he's made like 3 threats on you if he sees you again. He's gonna.
Oh, yeah, what are these?
set on
Let's
site.
address these while he's not here. Why does he want to kill me?
I can't remember.
Because
I don't
I
know.
accused him of being 3 hours late, and then you said on the podcast it was your fault.
It was. I mean, it was my fault. But look, everybody's responsible for themselves at the end of the day.
That's
I
right.
can only assume so much.
So I
blame.
can still blame Hans.
I was still first at the hotel. I'll say that. Everybody had the time. I was first at the hotel with MLH. Yeah, I can't. What was the problem?
Erich, the great irony is the time I spent waiting at Harvard for Hans, I could have watched Barry Lyndon.
Yeah, you have an entire Barry Lyndon's worth of time
Yes.
to do anything.
Are you generally not well versed on Kubrick?
I'm not well versed on anybody. The only director who I've actually completed the filmography of is Spielberg, and that's because I forced myself to do it this year.
That's crazy. He's got like 30 movies, doesn't he?
35
Yeah.
that I've logged.
And your
What's
favorite was
your-
Always, right?
What's your top Spielberg?
AI. I think Always
AI?
was
Hell
like
yeah.
bottom 3.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
I had Munich at the bottom. Can you guess why?
If Hans was here, he'd fill me in, I think. AI is very underrated. That's kind of a
It
surprising
really
number
is.
1 pick, though. When I went back and watched AI for like the first time in 15 years during COVID, I was stunned at how slept on that movie was. And that's like asterisk Kubrick as well.
I was gonna say, and it's one of the movies where people at the time thought, oh, this is pretty much all Spielberg. Like, he has taken over this movie and excised any bits of Kubrick in it. But apparently that's not true. Like, it was very heavily the movie Kubrick wanted to make. It just kind of had Spielberg's kind of touch on it. So
Right, the schmaltziness of it was all designed by Kubrick, and the reason why he plucked Spielberg is for that reason. Is okay, you're going to be better suited to deal with this than I would. I'm, before I started doing the podcast back in like 2018, I would do these unmade film video essays for YouTube, and all of the unmade Kubrick projects were so top of mind.
so
of
many.
interest.
Fucking his Napoleon. Like,
The Napoleon one would have been amazing. There's still time to. DiCaprio would actually be fantastic as Napoleon for that project.
Yeah.
But yeah.
AI, I like really the final 20 or so minutes. I know it's not cool to admit as a man that a movie made you cry or whatever, but I think I was weeping at the end of that movie, just the implications of all these aeons of history having passed and what humanity has evolved to, and they find the little boy and his teddy bear buried in the ice, and he just wants to have that one day with his mom. I mean, come on, guys, that goes beyond filmmaking and storytelling. It's like the future of humanity in the deepest recesses of the heart, all in one. It's just too much.
You know, when I rented AI from the video store when I was like 11 years old, I completely misread that ending. I thought aliens discovered him. And
but it's future humans.
Yeah. So it's a great film. It is very, very good. I'll probably go back to it at some point and reassess it. But the One Battle After Another has nothing to do with AI. Where does this movie fall for you guys as people who are very positive about it on 2025?
I'll pull up my list because I've been ranking them as they've been coming out.
One of the better movies of the year, but I don't think it's going to be my top movie of the year. It might be in the top 10. I guess we'll see.
What it would be the competition? Because the year, there's only 3 months left. Erich,
it's been a very shaky year.
It's been a horrible year so far.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I do want to see Cloud. That's going to go on to Criterion Channel here in a couple.
Cloud
weeks.
is the
Kiyoshi
Kurosawa. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That movie's very, very good. I caught that last year. I got a screener of that. One of the better Japanese films I've seen come out in a while.
My top 4 right now: Mass State Lottery, of course, which I saw over a year ago, so I don't know if that counts. So really, my real
it's only in theaters now.
Yeah.
Oklahoma.
Of movies I actually saw in 2025, Eddington's number 1, and then I had Weapons barely edging out One Battle After Another, so it'll be in the top 5 probably, unless the Safdies both put out True Kino.
You guys looking forward to those movies?
Absolutely.
I've heard not so good things about the Smashing Machine.
Really?
I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm watching them both open-minded. I'm not even watching the trailer.
What have you
Just
heard?
generally the biopic version of things. It's just overly sentimental, and it's anytime there's a biopic, it's always gonna fall in is this the Walk Hard problem where you're basically just playing the hits on stuff.
I'm not familiar with Mark Kerr or his story at all. Would you recommend watching the documentary before the movie?
I have no idea. I don't know who Mark Kerr is.
Oh, so you're going off of, okay, people who are familiar.
Yeah.
They think it's overly sentimental.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I got my money more on Marty Supreme being the better of the two films.
No,
I think
for
they're
sure.
both going to be very solid. I love their style of casting. I guess specifically more Josh Safdie's style of casting, because Smashing Machine has a much more conventional cast.
I'm looking through my list of the 45 releases this year that I've ranked, and if the Jerry Springer documentary is number 12...
That's horrible. That's a horrible sign.
Holy shit.
Look at this. Should I read off the names of the dog shit that came out? Snow White movie, New Medea movie, Kinda Pregnant with Amy Schumer, Bride Hard with the Rebel Wilson, who's not fat anymore, so why is she funny? Sneaks, the Talking Shoe cartoon movie, Flight Risk, where Mark Wahlberg he's in a little plane set for like an hour and a half. Freakier Friday. I'm reading these from worst and then going up to better, but these are all fucking 1-star movies. Clown in a Cornfield. You guys hear about this shit?
No.
Yes. There was an author, I wasn't really friends with him, but he was in the same scene as me like 10 years ago. That's based on his book.
I hope the book's better than the movie. I'm sure Easily Impressed Jess gave this one a fucking 10-star review.
5 stars, yeah. The poster that's right behind Lowres there, 28 years later, that was a fucking great movie.
I need to see that one, but I haven't seen the others, and I figured, maybe I should, but based on Lowres' review, maybe I can just dive into this new one without having seen the others.
It's completely schizophrenic. You don't need to see shit. You can jump right in. And you could watch the movie like halfway through and not miss a beat. Honestly.
Really?
Definitely watch 28 Days Later, because that's a good movie, but 28 Weeks Later is not worth.
Yeah, 28 Days
Not
Later is
worth
such a
very much.
different vibe from 28 Weeks Later. Than 28 Years Later.
Years, yeah.
Threw me off completely when I was watching it. I was like, I don't know if I like this movie or not. But it so many creative decisions on a movie of that scale. I have to admire it. So,
I'd like when Danny Boyle can really get down and dirty and do shit. He is one of my favorite filmmakers. He's definitely not amazing all the time, because I've seen Yesterday and that is a piece of dog shit. But you're seeing in that movie just the crazy shit they did with the iPhone. You're seeing him intercutting King Arthur shit of old English archers shooting guys. All of that stuff is so well done, and I don't know. Every couple years, it's he changes the game of what can be done in movies.
127 Hours. I've probably seen that 15 times, and it's mostly just James Franco standing in one place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one's underrated. I really enjoyed 127 Hours. That kind of falls into where Danny Boyle started doing big. I mean, he's always been a studio director, but he started doing big mainstream Oscar baity films, and I think that one's the best example of that. And people don't really think about it as much. Even Slumdog is pretty good, though.
Oh yeah. If you're stuck in Iraq and like there is something pinning your arm, do you jerk off?
Do you get post-nut clarity that helps you escape?
Afterwards, and then you kill yourself.
Yeah. Should he have stabbed himself in the neck instead? Because you can just bleed out real fast and die in 1 second, evidently. So why even go for the arm?
Right.
Well, actually, I watched Halloween Ends again, and I don't know if you guys have watched it. I'm going to spoil it.
I don't
Killer
care.
in the movie, who's not Michael Myers,
It's
kills
the kid.
himself that way, and then proceeds to live, I guess, for like another 5 minutes.
Damn.
I guess it
So,
depends on
he
if it's
didn't
the
get the
entrance
jugular?
wound or the exit wound, huh?
Yeah, there's a lot of confusion whether or not that's the case. God damn, Candace Owens is really losing it, huh? I know this has nothing to do with one battle after another, but it has everything to do with one battle after another.
You see, Erich, I always try to review movies with Lowres. He just brings up Charlie Kirk conspiracies nonstop. It makes me about to go off about
What
Israel
is there?
for 20
There's a
minutes.
tunnel.
For the
There was a
record-
tunnel underneath Charlie Kirk.
I have tried to steer away from this, and Hans has been the one to because he will send me videos out of the blue like, have you seen this one yet? Have you seen this guy has a gun here? Have you seen that there's actually an exit wound on the back of his neck? I'm like, Hans, you're starting to sound whacked
I
out.
was gonna say it's becoming JFK levels where it's like everyone had a gun, everyone shot Charlie Kirk.
But think about it this way. What if the JFK thing was so obviously a conspiracy that's why it's survived generations of people like, no, seriously, like I saw this shit, pass it on. You know, like that one has stuck around for a reason, maybe.
Of course. With the Charlie Kirk, I don't know. Mumkey, where are you at with it currently?
I've decided I want to become apolitical because no matter what your position, you get death threats now. And I just hope everybody dies at this point. Like Israel and Gaza, I'd say bomb them both. Let's make Trump land, but both countries need to take part.
Just see who gets to rule the ashes.
Yeah, why not?
I'll co-sign that. Fuck it, why not? Enough people have threatened my life this week.
I'm sick
Fuck
of hearing
everybody
about
else's.
them, so just glass them. I gotta go watch the Jerry Springer documentary. It's the 12th best film of the year until, hey, hope on the horizon, Avatar Fire and Ash.
Holy shit.
Yeah! Kiri's back!
We got a hot evil lady, and I am down for it.
They got evil avatars! Woo!
Ash lady, kill me, please.
Now Kiri's back, and she's the one true God, Awa. You know, come to life like Jesus to free these people from their sins. I can't wait to see the lore extend.
Is she gonna fuck Spider?
She's a child.
Is Spider?
Erich,
is Spider
they're
gonna
14, Erich.
They're both 14.
I don't
it's
know the
fine.
age of consent on Pandora, but it's got to be high with Jake Sully in charge.
Uh-huh. Jake Sully's gonna fucking bite it. There's no way he doesn't die at some point.
That's fine. And I can't wait to see the what are the Avatar people called? Navi. I want to see them
Navi.
go to Earth. I want to see future Earth, like in movie
That'll be
4
in
or
the fifth
5.
one.
Yeah,
You have to wait a couple more years.
I'm hyped as fuck already. James, bring it on.
Well, I think it's only a matter of time. James Cameron's gonna eventually croak, and they'll turn it into basically what they've done with Star Wars, right? Where you'll get a bunch of spin-off series that have nothing to do with him or whatever his vision was. And then maybe you'll get like an FX show for Avatar Earth.
Would he pull
man.
Back to the Future and say, nope, you can't do it? All right, I guess if he's dead, it doesn't matter.
I actually would be willing to bet that there's some sort of clause in his contract that says, you need my approval. You need the George Lucas style. I'm going to sign all of this off to you in the event of my death. Although, now that the mouse owns everything, who the fuck knows?
I'm
There
also
have been
seeing
50 Terminator movies, so I guess
yeah,
it
that's
depends on how.
And
How
he still
crazy.
he still pretends to be involved in those. Did you see there was some headline where he's like, I just
Every
can't crack
fucking
the right
time.
idea for
Yeah.
the 7th Terminator.
Every fucking time they're like, oh yeah, James is involved. He's like,
This is
getting
the new
ideas.
real sequel.
yeah, we're gonna ignore everything else for the third time.
I don't know if it was clickbait, but I saw a lot of James Cameron quotes saying that AI is the future of filmmaking and they need to embrace it and stuff. So maybe when he's dead, it'll be AI Avatar for number 5.
There will be an AI James Cameron directing everything.
Yeah, why not? Plug all of his knowledge into ChatGPT and just have it direct the movie.
Man, but I think AI James Cameron would just go to the bottom of the sea. He would not. He would not want to do anything.
I must look at Titanic.
Yeah.
He is clearly a guy who just wants to either invent or explore and uses filmmaking as an excuse
to do
that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which I kind of like that. I don't mind that so much. But I have not watched Avatar 2, and I probably won't watch Avatar 3 or 4
It's
or
being
5.
released in theaters again. Now's your time, Han. Or fucking Lowres, goddammit.
I think Avatar
I want
2...
Hans to be here so bad.
I think 2 is an improvement on 1. You might like it.
I agree.
In what sense?
It feels more like its own thing at this point, and that it's building its own internal lore and gods and tribes, and creatures.
The first one was so just staid and like the same goddamn story that you've seen a million times.
But is there a reason for me to, if I were even entertaining it, I got to be honest, I'm not entertaining it, but I will play along that I'm entertaining it. If I were to watch it, would it make sense on a TV set?
Yeah.
Okay, then I missed the boat. It's over for me. I saw the first one back in 2009.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that, watching it. I didn't think it was,
These are purely theatrical experiences.
Yeah.
And I don't even care about the first one that much. I just do not give a shit about any of the shit he lays out in that one. The second one's definitely better for actually building characters a bit.
Okay, if the year continues to be a slump, maybe
as dog shit. Yeah.
Maybe I'll read the Wikipedia page for Avatar 2.
Lowres, let me appeal to this. Your love of the auteur in cinema. I mean, this is James Cameron's baby. This is not a committee of Disney executives deciding all the DEI choices for the film. This is one man's vision. He's been given, $500 billion to bring his world to life. You don't want to see that?
In the 70s, James Cameron was a trucker who had a dream about a hot alien chick that he could bang, and he has made that a reality in the 2010s.
And he's pushing technology to beyond the limits of what it can be. This is the Lucasfilm of the current era. Mm-hmm. The arts, special magic arts that he was doing.
I mean, technically, you're right. Sure. I personally don't. I don't know. I just can't be bothered to give a shit about anything Avatar.
What's the difference between Avatar 2 and Megalopolis in your mind?
Well, Megalopolis, I think, has a better cast and there was more directly on the line. And Shia LaBeouf.
Oh, he's not part of better cast?
If Shia LaBeouf takes...
Blue Shia LaBeouf.
What's his name? Sam Worthington's place? Then I will go see that. I'll show up for anything Shia LaBeouf. He was great in Henry Johnson, another Shia LaBeouf joint from this year. That was made for 1/1000th the budget of Avatar 2, I'm sure. And also Megadoc was a lot of fun.
We got to review that when it comes out, Erich.
Yeah, I really want to see that.
It's great to see him clash with Coppola over and over and over again. So,
did you say that's in your top 3 of the year, Lowres?
Yeah, but listen, this list is not final. It's September, okay? This is not going to be...
Well, of course. I mean, so far is what I mean.
All the fucking good movies come out in the last month of the year, and you fucking crazily try to watch everything.
My top 2 right now are Eddington and F1, and I can almost confidently say that's probably not going to be the case when the year is over. They don't have the vibe of best movie of the year. Mm-hmm. And F1 especially is kind of like Avatar. It's a spectacle. I went to go see that in IMAX. If I watched it on my TV at home on Apple Plus or whatever the fuck the service is called, I probably wouldn't have enjoyed it nearly as much. So I don't know. We're in a waffling year at the moment. I think last year there were a lot of big swings and misses, and I kind of admired that. I like the hot and cold nature of it. There's a lot of interesting movies. We're kind of doing a similar thing this year, but I don't know. There's no home runs.
I have F1 at 14th place between Fantastic Four and Superman.
Jerry Springer doc?
It's behind Fantastic Four and right above Superman.
That's crazy. Oh.
Your second favorite film is a fucking 3-star midster piece.
It felt like playing Gran Turismo when you're a kid in 2002. How can I hate that? How can I be mad?
So I'm
going to
give the Ratchet and Clank movie a 6 out of 5.
I thought Brad Pitt was almost bad in that movie. Like,
well, he's playing
clearly
Cliff Booth
just
again.
floating through. Yeah.
He just he got the Cliff Booth deal for Netflix, and he was like, "Yeah, I guess I'll just use this as a warm up."
It's like, you mean I can make hundreds of millions of dollars off this, and I just have to kind of just float through it?
And it was his biggest opening ever. Is that right? Or his biggest movie ever?
Yeah, I think so.
Hmm. Well, my number 15 of the year, I just realized, is Happy Gilmore 2.
Wow.
Ooh, he's at 19 on my list.
Okay, so roughly the same column. The Weeknd's movie just narrowed it out.
Oh,
Hurry
wow.
Up Tomorrow.
I heard truly awful things about that.
Bridget Jones, Mad About the Boy. That's
Hell yes.
a little higher up. That's a good one. So,
What about live action Lilo and Stitch? That's got to be top 5, right?
I abstain from anything Disney.
Good
Or
man.
at least
that's the better way to do
advertises
things.
Disney. You know, I'll show up for a 20th Century Studios thing if it's gonna be of interest. Because I think
That Predator movie.
Nah, I'm not seeing the Predator.
What about Searchlight? Do they still do Searchlight, or did they get bought by Disney?
I think that's over.
Yeah.
I think they
Yeah, I don't
kiboshed
know
anything
when the last time
independent. So,
Well, I think that's it for One Battle After Another, which we did not figure out how the budget was inflated to almost $200 million on this. I feel like this movie could have been made for probably $30 million, right, Lowres?
maybe they paid for one of Sean Penn's Ukraine trips.
It all went to Zelensky or whatever.
I'm curious because it seems like a pretty cheap movie, like a possibly cheaply made movie. Like there's not too many big set pieces that you'd need to invest a lot of money in. They're mostly just going through the desert, sitting in apartments and houses.
Yeah, well, I think it's just they went with such a high-powered cast. DiCaprio
You have to pay Leo a ton. He's like $25 million easily. Yeah.
I'm sure PTA, he wanted to line his pockets appropriately. You got that. Sean Penn isn't cheap. Benicio, seems like he's taken a lot of projects recently, but I'm sure he's not cheap either.
Benicio just floats into a movie, just effortlessly does whatever, and it's like so good.
But really, that's only
I can't
three...
even tell you what he's doing in this.
That's like 2 A-list actors and a B-list actress, and then the rest is nobody I'd ever heard of. Because who wants to play retarded white supremacist who gets killed by a Native American guy? Probably not too many high-paid actors want those roles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
It might have been money
I
laundering.
think it could be. My suspicion is because they didn't rely so much on CG, which is definitely a point in the movie's favor. It seems like everything is very on location. They're not doing anything the easy digital way. You probably have to spend more money now for being able to do that within like a big studio. And you have to have more people oversee whatever, stunts and whatnot you're doing. So it could all wind up adding up there. But I mean, the budget on this is not reported. Warner Brothers is playing it very sneaky with how they're reporting their budgets.
It's like anywhere from 108 to 160 or something.
They're giving an approximation that's based off of just somebody's word.
Yeah, I'm on the wiki and it says 130 to 175 million. So
I don't understand
this is
how you
Marvel
get a
movie level.
$40-some million gap between what it could have been. Maybe it's tax credit shit that like you get some money back and they just work that in.
Well, originally the film was about Israel, but then after Charlie Kirk and all these conspiracies come out, they said, hey, can you change that plot line to be, I don't know, a Christmas adventurer, some retarded Christian shit, make them the bad guys, and we'll up the budget on it. Maybe that was what happened, Erich.
Their whole Hail Saint Nick thing, I thought was like pretty much just Satanist. I thought they were like just basically saying Hail Satan without saying it.
But Saint Nick's a real figure in Christianity who's a saint. He can't be Satanist.
Wow.
It's who Santa's even based on, I believe. You wouldn't worship the saint for whom Santa is based? You think Santa and Satan have any relation at all? Those letters are completely different, Erich.
Same letters, different order.
He might be onto something, actually. Uh-oh. So I recommend go check out. Let's see, not that one.
In IMAX.
The Catfish documentary. No, that sucked. Ballerina was not that good.
There was a Catfish documentary this year?
Yeah, Unknown Number, the high school catfish. It was her own mom.
That crazy mom who was texting her daughter that she could never sexually satisfy this kid.
I guess go see Friendship with Paul Rudd. Even the Phoenician Scheme I wouldn't recommend. So yeah, bad year for movies.
Yeah, the Phoenician Scheme sucked. I don't know how they messed that one up. Friendship. That's about as good as a comedy can get this year. Yeah.
Why did you guys hate
I basically
Weapons?
just feel the same way about most Wes Anderson stuff at this point, which is he's doing his thing, which it's all right, but it's his thing.
He's not switching it up to be unique anymore.
He needs to get Owen Wilson back in there writing the scripts.
You guys don't have Weapons High over on the Movies podcast?
Weapons?
Yeah.
No, Weapons was great. I really enjoyed Weapons. But I don't know. I've watched it twice. It didn't fall off on the second time, but it's it's in my top 7 or so, but I don't have it in my top,
Black Bag was pretty good.
Okay, we got to end this now that we're just naming movies
we're
for
just
20
reading
minutes.
off the movie
naming things,
letterbox of this year. All right,
Hey.
well, that has been movies for this week. Thank you for listening.
Recording stopped.